tweeting it out.
Tweeting out. Can you check if I'm in the shot at all?
Oh wait, we didn't write who's doing what. So who's taking the Peter Moore?
We'll just toss it around and just...
Yeah, you're all
bring it
right.
up.
Yeah, we're all there.
Okay.
Yeah, who's taking Peter Moore? Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna take that Peter Moore?
Yeah.
You can take that, Peter.
You gonna take that, Peter? More.
I'll take that more. I'll take more.
I'll
Peter.
take more, Peter. Great, we're already streaming, so that's great.
Hopefully nobody else has been checking in.
What do you mean, man?
What do you mean, man?
We're gonna have like 300 views by the end of this talk.
Sorry, the unknown error. I want to share
Matt
this.
Damon.
We have Matt. No, we have Eric Ball.
I've watched little pieces of the Oscars. Man, pretty funny. 2-time Academy Award winner Ben Affleck and guest. It was Matt Damon.
He tried to kill when he was coming down the aisle. They had this whole fucking feud going on.
Oh, it's hilarious, but only Matt Damon could take that.
Yeah.
So, like, when that thing happened with Team America, like, Matt Stone and Trey Parker didn't do that on purpose. Like, they got these puppets. They're, like, thousands of dollars. They're super expensive, these marionettes. And they got the Matt Damon one. They're like, what the hell happened? It's like, I think it got overheated and, like, melted a little bit. Like, he looks like he's slow. What are we going to do? And Matt Stone was like, dude, we'll write it into the story. And you know what? Out of all the marionettes we got, Matt Damon would think it was hilarious. Like, if we did that to any other actor would have been like, what? Like, Tim Robbins would have been like, dude, not cool. Like, what are you doing? But Matt Damon, we got Tim Robbins, hi. Janine Garofalo, hello. And Matt Damon. Actually, they spiked Helen Hunt, too. Helen Hunt.
You guys
We're
ready?
all shared?
I shared out.
Good.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
All right, okay.
5, 4, 3.
Hello and welcome back, Maniacs. This is End User Disagreements, episode number 42.
42?
42!
The Jackie Robinson episode.
And also the magic number, the answer to everything, the life, the
That's from
universe.
Sports Ball.
Oh, yeah, that works. 8 times 7?
56.
Good for you.
Oh, 7 times 6.
Oh, you're trying to...
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mililani High School. My math's better, I promise.
It's okay. It was a public high school, wasn't it?
Rude.
Just asking.
Unacceptable. I blame our sponsor today. I blame the Iron Horse Brewery. Thank you, Iron Horse Brewery, unofficially. This is the video game podcast here at Soundcasting Network, and this is the one that poses the question, hey, does your opinion matter?
No, it never does. I don't even think ours does.
We look at your comments and we just maniacally laugh. And that's kind of all that happens with that. But we are here at Studio 212, here in South Lake Union, Seattle, Washington. The Pacific Northwest, otherwise known as Cascadia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's February, almost done.
Yeah, we had some crazy weather today.
We almost snowed out,
And then,
folks.
and then didn't, and then almost did again, and then didn't.
And then almost
traffic.
did again. But we made it. We made it all the way here. Clinky. These are fruit punches, Mom. It's fruit punch.
Yes.
And we're going to start off today with, we do not have our fourth musketeer with us today. He is probably still with the flu.
He's dead.
Yeah, he might be dead.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna go loot his corpse, but all I'm gonna get is like a rusty sword and like copper pieces and like rat pelts. He's a noob.
Oh, yeah? Hey, pounce on his camera equipment.
Mm.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But just to let everybody else know that one of his heroes, Ric Flair, will be at the Emerald City Comic Con this weekend. Woo! Woo! Woo!
We do not own that. That's trademark, you guys.
Is it officially
Can
trademarked?
we go back and bleep that out?
Well, how many O's does it have to be in woo?
Oh
to
yeah,
be
is it
trademarked?
like a Michael Bennett thing? You only have like two O's in your woo. If you have 3.
Are you kidding me? Is that a thing?
Yeah, Michael Bennett, when he does his sack dance, he can only have 2 pumps. If he goes more than 2 pumps, they fine him.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Sports, why are you so weird? You guys wonder why I don't watch sometimes. For crying out loud.
Except for the football. The one that actually uses your phone.
Yeah, the football, not hand egg.
Not
Football.
hand. Yeah.
Hand egg is.
I
Hand
thought we
eggs?
went over this. Football is a family. It's a family of sports. And if any part of that sport you can score by kicking the ball through a goal, it's football. So you have soccer, American football, rugby, all that is underneath football.
Okay, we didn't talk about that.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
I thought we went over that one day.
But now I'm gonna think about other sports that have feet that aren't considered football. But I'll get to that later.
If you kick a ball through some kind of a goal and score points, it's football.
I'll think about it. I don't think I can because I don't really watch a whole lot of sports.
Yeah.
I
Not
might
all
be-
of us have ESPN.
I might be TSOL on that one. Whatever, I play Quidditch. Yo, Ravenclaw! Ravenclaw! Okay, so things happened this week. Aside from Ric Flair, I also wanted to say that I've been playing a little bit of games.
Have you?
Yeah. Obviously, I am done with Final Fantasy 15. You maniacs don't know that kind of possessed my life for 3 months.
So did you 100% it? You get all your trophies?
I did not 100% it because some of it is like really menial and it didn't.
Yeah.
Like I did like the 3 hardest things in the game. I caught like the 2 gnarliest fish and I killed the adamant twice. And I have all the final weapons for all the characters. Like aside from that, like I don't want to be post-game hunts. I don't want to get a flying car to go to this one dungeon that's like a cool puzzle. Sort of want to do it, but it, once you beat the game, you kind of beat the game. But
you can come back around for the DLC.
Yeah, I
please?
was going to ask you coming back from the DLC.
we will see. Maybe they'll get me. They didn't get me with 13, like the Lightning Returns thing. I just played 13 and 13-2, and that's it.
What about the other 2 13s?
Oh,
Because there was like 4 of them.
13-9.
Even though Lightning Returns, I do like that game.
I probably will play that eventually. However, we have the Vancouver Lowlives, a drinking squad out of Vancouver, Washington, come and visit us this weekend. And while we were pre-gaming, they wanted to play some games. Like, we can play Street Fighter, Derek, because you're good and we don't really play. I'm like, no, level playing field. So I sparked up that PS4 and I put on Nidhogg. And one of them has never played Nidhogg before.
Nice.
And it blew his freaking mind.
That's a great game.
He's like, is it just fencing? I'm like, no, keep playing, man. It's like, did you just throw that? I'm like, yeah, you can throw that. It's like, wait, you could. Now it's another life. Like every screen is like another. You respawn basically.
Mhm.
And he's like, you jump kicked me. I'm like, yeah, I jump kicked you. He's like, did you just tear off my arm? I'm like, yeah, I killed you. And at the end, we let him win one round. And he's like, I won. Wait, I'm at the end. What happened?
Yeah.
He's like, that's the end. I'm like, that's Nidhogg. And we also played Tricky Towers.
What about the first time you snap his neck? That's always like a traumatic thing on Nidhogg. The first time you're fighting somebody, and you're like,
Oh,
you just break someone's neck? Like,
Nidhogg's so great. I wish it won for Evo to win it, but Marvel does it. As far as games go, though, just Street Fighter V, Nidhogg, a little bit of Smash Project M, a little bit of really bad Guilty Gear, and that's what I did this week is gaming.
well, what about your practicing? Are we gonna get into that here in a minute?
Oh, that'll be later. That's like I didn't even practice. I just got it.
Just got it.
I didn't even train with anybody. But well, that's for another minute.
Okay. What were you asking? Like what I've been playing? A little bit of everything. Kind of all over the place. I was playing the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta. I was playing Project Cars. I was playing Killing Floor 2. I was playing Stanley Parable some more because that game just kind of keeps going. Like you can beat it. I beat it, but it keeps going. It's really strange. And it's like a dream you can't wake out of. That's pretty much what it feels like.
Okay.
And I don't even know, man. Command and Conquer Riddler 3.
Hey, alarm!
Dawn of War 2. I've been all over the place.
That's good. It's good to hear that we're gaming podcasts and people are gaming. Just the tip?
Just the tip. Oh, now that you go ahead and introduce me.
Hey, just the tip.
This week, mostly twiddling my thumbs. Other than, I was sick earlier in the week, and I spent some time going through my back catalog, and finally got into South Park Stick of Truth.
Yes, I've been meaning to play that.
Meaning to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just started on my campaign on that a couple of days ago.
I know.
I think I'm maybe about an hour into that game from like a year ago.
Yo, how thick is that game?
Hmm?
Like, how many hours is that thing?
I think
It's
it's at least
decent.
40 to 50
it's like
hours.
your typical RPG, about 40 hours.
I heard it replaces. Oh no, wait. I'm thinking of Fractured But Whole. It's supposed to replace a season. Like that's how long it's supposed to take to play it.
I can see that.
Like minimum.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Storyline wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into that. That's part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and tackle Stick of Truth is so I can finally get to the fractured butthole.
Fractured butt, comma hole. Thank you, just a tip. By the way, this is Loud and Brown, and to my left I have.
You got the saverings.
You got the same. That's who you've been talking to. This is end user disagreements. And we have super duper producer, Keith the Boogie.
He's alright.
Hello.
He's alright.
Yeah.
Wazoo.
He's serviceable.
Go Cougs.
He's adequate for our needs.
And first topic of the day, first hard topic of the day, we're going to sling it over to V-Gaming, a.k.a. Save Rings, a.k.a. The Saves. No, I tried to give you a Wu-Tang game, the name, and it didn't work.
No, it didn't.
We'll figure
That's
it out.
a tip, though.
The Rosa.
I still might get sued for that, so we'll work on it.
Okay, Save Rings, take it.
Friends, were you alive anytime in the last 10, 15 years ago? Did you ever remember seeing a cell phone in somebody's hand? You probably saw this little brick, cute little candy bar Nokia phone. Is this... Does that sound familiar at all? Have you heard that in your life?
Oh, yes, from Jurassic Park 3.
Yep. There you go. That was in that too.
The greatest of the trilogy.
Wasn't the-
obviously.
Was that in the third one?
It was the third one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's coming back in your life. And actually, what's funny, about a week ago, we were joking about this because we work on phones and we work on Nokia phones and stuff like that.
We
We're
live with phones. Everything we do is associated with our phones.
Yeah.
What's a phone?
But specifically at my job, we were laughing at the Nokia phones because we were like, they should just bring back the other ones. They should just bring back the little candy bar brick phones. And then here we are with this. And so, yeah, that's basically what's happening.
We got the model
The
Nokia 3310.
Yes. Do you guys remember Snake? You guys remember the little candy bar brick Nokia phones?
Snake is back, and not Snake from Escape from New York, and not Snake from Metal Gear,
Yeah.
and not any of the snakes.
Snake from The Simpsons, right? Wasn't that the greaser?
Oh yeah, not the greaser Snake.
Yeah.
We're talking about Snake the game. So hyped, such wow.
Talking about in a world of remasters, they built a whole phone just to put the remastered Snake on there.
Right.
Good
but,
on them.
But the thing about like the phone design is that it sticks so closely with the original. It doesn't even have a directional pad on it.
Mhm.
You still have to end up using the number keys to be able to control your Snake.
Super tight.
They need to bring back remember AT&T Media Mall? Remember before there was the Google Play Store and the Android and the iOS store? To get no matter what phone you were on, what device everybody went to the same store. Remember AT&T had their own store. And Singular had their own
that's
store.
right. That's
T-Mobile
so
had their own
awful.
store where you get themes and wallpapers
Well-
and ringtones.
Oh yeah.
Are they going to bring that back? They totally
You
should.
can go ahead and change the shell because I remember that was a big
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, and you can get the
They
light
should
ups
totally bring all that
and the
stuff
cell
back.
phone charms, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Cell phone kiosks
So-
all over the mall.
They should totally do it.
Maniacs. The main point of this is Nokia is putting this, and it's retro and it's cute and it's funny. But at the same time, they're putting all of their efforts into making this durable and long-lasting battery. They're like, why did people like this phone from 16 years ago so much? You know what?
People are still using that phone around the world.
And now they're gonna have a slightly newer one that has some smartphone abilities.
Sort of, yes. So the new version of the phone still runs on 2.5G, so it doesn't even connect to 3G or 4G. You're running on a slower network.
Like Edge?
Pretty much. Wait, is it even Edge? Yeah, I guess technically it would be.
yeah,
Edge.
that was the beginning of Edge back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5G, got it.
So you have that. It also has standby time of up to a month, even with a color screen, with 22 hours of talk time.
Damn.
22 hours of talk time?
So they know their niche. This is
What is
for-
an iPhone? 5?
Of talk time,
Yeah.
Maybe when you first get it, but as soon as you
Yeah.
start putting anything
Charge
on
it,
it, yeah, you get maybe about 2 hours.
Yo.
So they know their market. They know their niche market. This is for those sheep herders and those Bedouins and those Bedouins and whatnot, way out in the middle of nowhere that still use that original brick phone.
Oh, also this, depending on the cost of this thing, is this going to be the new? Is this being the new burner?
It's 50 pounds initially whenever it comes out, or 50 euros or whatever.
That might be the new burner.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yo, get Trig on the phone.
Are they gonna come out with those little snap
I don't know.
plastic cases that they used to have for
Android
Honestly.
burners are pretty cheap these days too, though. Android burners don't really cost you anything. You can
Yeah.
end up getting you can get an Android phone for about the same price, maybe even cheaper, if it's just a burner phone.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like a Nokia though.
No, it doesn't, but it will actually run applications you're probably gonna use.
Sure. Okay. So good to see that. That's fun. That's
Super
cool.
fun, super tight.
Super tight. Hey, I hear you like Peters, Joel.
I do like Peters.
Yeah. Do you like more Peters?
I don't know. Should I?
Yeah,
Should I
maybe.
like more Peters?
Yeah, take number 2.
All right.
Talk about more Peter.
Oh, okay. So if we're going ahead and sticking with the podcast, Peter Moore, who has a long history, currently or most recently known for being CEO over at EA Games, or Electronic Arts in general. I'm not sure if it was just the games department.
No, he was
EA
sports and like competitive something.
But anyways, so he had a storied history coming from Microsoft, and before that, working over at Sega during Dreamcast days. He's decided that he's going to leave games altogether, and has decided to become CEO of a football league. Liverpool, I believe.
Yeah, not just any Liverpool. That's kind of a big deal.
That's a tough one.
That's his hometown. I just found that out.
Yeah, it's a homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
It's a homecoming. But that's crazy. He, before EA Sports, which was a really big deal because he was all up in that. Like, he was in it during some controversies, right?
I think it was
Like the
more of the
college
timing. I don't think it really had so much to do with his decision making. Maybe just supporting what the board of directors or
The shareholders.
the shareholders want to go ahead
Make
and
them
do so.
shareholders happy.
But he was in the midst of the whole NCAA sports franchises. They were releasing them, but because they didn't use the official names of college players, just like likenesses and stuff like that, and then like renumbered all of them, that they thought it was okay to go ahead and do so. Because there was some sort of court ruling that said that if they're going to go ahead and feature these players and their likenesses, then they need to be paid for it. So instead of continuing on with any of the NCAA games, which a lot of people really like because you could play as the mascots, like during the football games, or same thing during the basketball games. They decided they were just not going to do it anymore, and that was during Peter Moore's reign over at EA Sports.
But in fairness, though, he got stuck in a hard place because that's kind of out of their hands. It's the NCAA, and that's a whole infinite loop we could talk about with them and their
The ethics on why should athletes for schools end up getting paid to play?
Yeah, that's a whole cluster F right there.
But that's a crazy connection, We have someone that is well known in the, that's like names like Kojima and Miyamoto. You got Peter Moore. He's like a big name in gaming.
Yeah. And
he just goes over to sports. And recently we've had some back and forth with like physical sports, soccer, basketball, baseball, and everything, and esports and video gaming in general. Let alone, Jeremy Lin being really into League, and
who's the kicker for the Minnesota Vikings? Kluey, the guy who was a kicker. He was really into World of Warcraft, and you tweet about it and stuff all the time.
Yeah, totally. And a couple weeks ago, they had the UFC matchup, or a mixed martial arts matchup, where the female fighter dressed up in cosplay as Sagat.
And she did the whole pose.
And she did the pose, and she did the winning pose. It was amazing. Yeah. And gaming culture is in the forefront, and it's like with quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes, maniacs, they are becoming more and more associated with sports. Esports and regular sports are bumping in together. And not just culturally, it's getting to a point where it's financial. Mm-hmm. And we're talking about, most notably, we're going to start off with the biggest one that anybody would even know about, is Scott O'Neil, the owner of the 76ers. He bought Dignitas and Apex, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy. And these are esports teams, most notably league teams, I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the guy from the 76ers, and that's not just him. We also have...
And Steve Kaplan, owner of the Grizzlies, who's not afraid to spend some money after the collective bargaining agreement for the NBA went up. He did sign the largest contract ever. I think Mike Conley is point guard there on the Grizzlies. He's the owner of the Memphis Grizzlies. Signed a deal for like $30-something million.
For a player?
For a player. So he's used to spending some money on some sports. So he bought Immortals, and they're also a LoL team, aren't they?
At this point, they're either going to be Overwatch or LoL. I'm just going to nod my head and be like, yeah, sure.
Well, they probably have different teams for different stuff. So, yeah, they got Overwatch, they got a LoL. They probably have a Dota, some other stuff like that.
Yeah, well, really, really on a big deal is Team Liquid has investors. And Team Liquid is one of those big esports teams that does They do fighting games. They do shooters.
So they
and
cover
MOBAs.
everything.
I know them mostly from Dota. They have a solid Dota team.
Crazy Dota team.
Yeah.
And
I
they
think that's
have.
what started it, is the Dota team.
Oh yeah. Okay, but they have investors from sports owners too. It's to the point where there's over 50 quote unquote traditional sports teams owners have investments in esports. And it's because it's undeniable. Like, it's making tons of money and there's a huge audience and there's just money to be had.
Yeah.
And they have that kind of cash.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Wild West. It's wide open. Who knows which way it could go?
Yeah, which is why Mark Cuban hasn't invested or bought in a specific team. He's just investing in esports on a whole.
I think part of him, just a little tiny part, is a little salty that he didn't get in on it first, because he's been the guy who's been like blazing trails.
Yeah, but now he has Shark Tank. He just do Shark Tank for the rest of his career.
Maybe that's
Shark
why.
Tank.
Maybe that's why he's mad. He's like, oh, I got lazy.
Can you say that with a
for my
Boston
TV show."
accent?
Yeah.
Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Shark Tank.
I'm not even a try.
But real quick before we move on, I did have a little personal story, an actual
Fire
personal
away.
story with Peter Moore. My very first software testing job ever, I worked for Microsoft Game Studios, and I worked on Gears of War and Halo 2 on the PC. That was the launch game.
Hey, dual wield.
Yeah, that was the launch game for Games for Windows Live. You guys remember that?
No.
You remember Games for Windows Live, Joe?
I remember that.
You're welcome.
I remember.
You're welcome.
I remember.
So my contract was ending. It was getting to be towards Christmas. All their launches were coming out. The big launch that year was Gears of War, and I did get to work on that. On my last day, I saw him in like the email aliases. So I was like, I'm gonna email Peter Moore. This is my last day. I might not ever work in Microsoft ever again. So I emailed him and I was like, hey, Mr. Moore, this is my first software testing job. This was a really cool experience. You know, thanks for this opportunity. Blah blah blah. He actually emailed me back
Yo.
and was like, hey, glad you had a good time working here. You know.
He's from Liverpool. Try again.
Yeah. Well, I can't do the accent. I won't.
Glad you had a good time working
So
here.
that's why I didn't do it. But anyway,
My
he took the time
accent
and
is
actually
so
responded
good.
to me, and I thought that was really classy of him. So yeah, good dude, Peter Moore.
Well,
That's all I gotta say.
full honors to Peter Moore.
Mhm.
Yeah?
He also had an Austin Martin, and I knew it was his. I
An
saw.
Austin Martin.
Austin Watson.
Yeah, I saw an Austin Martin in the parking lot. I'm like, who works here? That's got to be Peter Moore's.
This accent is so bad right now. My accent.
And then he did a video.
Burying yourself
cool.
further.
He did a video that they put on Xbox Live, and he was posing by his car, and it was that Austin Martin.
He was posing by his automobile.
No, I'm not even gonna do it. But anyway, that was my personal experience with Peter Moore, and he didn't have to do that.
And
that
we
was
know
classy.
that you love Peter.
That was classy.
All the Peter.
More
You just
Peter.
need more
More
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
And Maniacs, if you're just tuning in, this is End User Disagreements, the video game podcast where your argument is
Invalid.
Thank you. We are proudly brought to you by Iron Horse Brewery. Kind of officially. I mean,
Sort of.
we get stuff from them, and
Inspired.
Oh, you get stuff from them.
And I had to tell you guys.
Yeah,
we
that works.
sorry, we are fueled by Iron Horse Brewery from Ellensburg, Washington. Check it out. And you guys have probably heard it. I keep saying Iron Horse, I don't say any of the names. They make the Irish Death beer, and that can is everywhere, man. And I've seen that tap in places all over the Emerald City. And they got gamers over there, man. Bless their hearts. They game in Ellensburg. They played the video game. What was that game where you're a bartender and you're like throwing bottles?
Root beer trapper.
No, it was called Tapper initially because it's supposed to be beer.
Okay.
But since they re-released it, they rebranded it as Root Beer Tapper instead of you pouring beer down the bar.
And that was actually one of the better selling games. I remember reading about that and seeing that too because a couple friends had it. That was one of the better selling games on PSN. On the PlayStation 3.
Yo,
people
really?
were buying that game up like crazy.
Hot damn.
I remember having to work on it for in my early testing career, whenever they were still doing like Xbox Live Arcade games.
People were snapping that game up left and right.
A lot of people really were into it.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. I did like I
Wait,
didn't keep up
you
with it so far.
Hated it.
Yeah, back in those days, if you looked on like
I
one of
would
those,
not tap that.
if you looked on like one of those like VG's sales charts, sometimes you see it like number 8, number 9, number 10. You see it in the top 10 sometimes. Like really? Like right next to Gears of War and stuff. That's crazy.
Gears of War. That's the most Mountain Dew game I've ever played in my life.
That's the most dude bro game. The fourth one's really good. I did get a chance to play that a little bit.
So Zero Tribals.
There's no time for that. There was a lot of killing going on.
No, I mean, are you saying none of the main characters had tribal tattoos?
It's fine. It's fine.
I was not saying what's wrong with it, but I'm also being completely jackass and prejudiced and being like, I bet like half of the cast had tribal tattoos.
That's only because they render them all big and bulky and bro.
They could not have tribal tattoos. It could even be old school like sailor tattoos. I'd be fine with it.
Like the big anchor on the side, like pop.
I'd be fine with that, but no. I played the first 3 games. I was like, oh man, they got the soul patch and the do-rag, size 25 boots, whatever. Gears of War, good game. Good job, Cliffy B. But
Dude, huge.
speaking of gaming, because the gaming podcast, actually I have zero segue for this. Sorry, super producer.
Okay.
Sorry, Keith the Boogie. Some of the things I'm doing, I'm getting ready for Evo, right? With Vong Shady and the Goon Squad, and we're all going to go hit up Evolution Championship Tournament Series in Vegas, and we're going to play Tekken. On the PS4, there is no way to play Tekken in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, so sad.
There isn't. And you could pre-order Tekken 7.
That's kind of a big gap right there, though.
It is.
Have no modern Tekken available.
Yeah, but they recently just said if you have a PS Now account, you can stream Tekken Tag. And so I was like, I'm fine with that. And I went and looked at this library of games I could play while I have this for 3 months. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got like 30 extra games that I want to play. Let alone like, I don't know, at least probably 100 games that I could give a shit about.
And for all of you who actually want to take a peek and see what it's about, I do have a video for it on my channel, and I did actually poke around with it. So if you actually want to take a look at what it looks like, look at V-Gaming, which is my YouTube channel. I have a video on there for it if you're curious what it looks like.
V-dash.
V-dash
Spell out dash. It's not a hyphen.
It's not a hyphen. It's just
V.
The letter V, the word dash, and gaming. All one word.
V-dash Gaming.
So clever.
All one word.
YouTube channel.
All one word.
Anyways. So we all had experience with PlayStation Now. How's your experience been so far?
It was quick and it's super easy. I started, I'm in like the menu of Last of Us, but I didn't want to start it because I was headed here.
Mm-hmm.
But I went and played a couple rounds of Tekken Tag on online. It was pretty good. I mean, you know me, I play on stick and it was really, really responsive. Shockingly so. Because I was like, man, this isn't even on my hard drive.
What kind of connection do you have in terms of your internet?
It's not that good. It's not a gigabyte. But it's not a gigabit, but we do all right. Because my roommate's really big into gaming and downloading stuff.
Are you on Xfinity?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if he got upgraded, because everybody's getting upgraded to like the 250.
Right. And well, this is all trying to lead up to Xfinity would put caps on plans. I know they've been working on that.
They kind of have to if they're boosting you up to 250, because you suck up a lot of data quicker doing that. You might get a little crazy with it and hit that one gigabit. It so doesn't bog the whole thing down. You have to have a speed limit to keep traffic flowing.
Well, I think that's kind of a failed argument, because it's just that the quality of the streams are getting better. Because now you can go ahead and stream in 4K through, like Netflix, for example, and you have to have more bandwidth to be able to do so. But you're still watching the movie in that same amount of time. You're not like watching more movie just because you have a bit more bandwidth.
The file size is bigger.
Yeah, your file size is considerably bigger. Yeah. So, but then going ahead and what I think they were talking about is like 300 gigabytes or gigabytes per month.
No way.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a cap of like 300. They've been testing in other markets, and that's like that. That's extreme to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have other competitors around here like Wave. First off, fuck you, Wave.
and Broad Stripe and Millennium and whoever else you
but they have the same thing. They have those caps, and they start charging you extra. And they don't tell you, they don't give you any warning whenever you go ahead and get to your cap.
The warning only pops up. Well, I got the warning. I got the warning from Comcast, and I thought I got hacked. I thought it was like some virus that popped up, but it was legit from Comcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a gigabyte. It was not a gigabyte. It was a terabyte. I almost hit a terabyte cap in January.
Yeah, just on my phone plan alone, I think I've hit about 150 gigabytes.
Yeah, I have
just on my phone this month.
That's a lot of cat videos. Just the tip. Meow meow. Oh, you mean nyan?
Yeah.
So, what are the competitors for PlayStation Now?
There really is no competitor per se, but there's
Sega Channel.
Well, Sega Channel. If Sega Channel were still around,
that's the OG streaming that. Dude, I remember we like got to play. At least it takes a while to connect, but then you're like, oh my god, I didn't even have to go to Blockbuster Video to rent this. I'm playing this game right now.
Right.
Yo, because game rentals were expensive, man.
Yeah, they were
twice the cost of a movie.
Technically, they still are. If you want to take a look at I guess the closest PC version would be the NVIDIA GeForce Now. That's kind of expensive as well, just a little bit.
Yeah, what's that a month?
For that, you're looking at basically renting out time on a high-end PC. One has a GeForce GTX 1060 card, which is about a mid-range PC, and then you get to go up and you can rent time on a system with a GeForce 1080, which is like top-end PC. So basically,
Oh,
for that,
you're subscribing and renting processing power. It's not games.
No, there is games that you can rent from them.
But that's kind of
Games
what
that you
like PlayStation Now and the entire service is based around. Like we haven't mentioned this yet, but OnLive is the same thing. It allows you to play like on a low end PC, like maybe even a netbook. You could end up playing like higher end games because it's all being processed.
on the back.
And
That's not like PS Now at all.
PS Now is the exact same thing.
It's like I'm playing like PS3 games.
No, that's because it's so seamless these days. They've gotten the technology right. This was after they ended up buying out.
But what you're actually playing on, what's actually streaming to you, that's not a PlayStation 3 that's running somewhere in a warehouse. That's
sure.
running off emulation off of a server.
Sure, it's running off emulator, but I'm not doing it to play games I already own through a stronger system. I'm using it to play games I normally would not have access to.
Yeah, and you can do that here too. But there's several different things.
But the technology is still the same. You're still sending remote, or the inputs that you're putting in don't go directly to the game. It goes to the internet, to a server elsewhere, which is where you're streaming the game from.
Streaming game.
Yeah, and then
like Candy Crush.
No, Candy Crush is actually locally on your device.
Sorry,
it's locally on your device. There's a difference between the two. Your remote game playing in one instance.
I'm trying to think of a streaming game that I ever played.
So have you ever done the PlayStation 4's remote streaming, for example?
No.
Where you can be on a PC and still play your PlayStation 4 in another room?
No.
Okay. Well, it's very similar in the technology. Actually, it's all based around the same technology. It's the same thing for being able to use your PlayStation Vita. Holla! Which nobody else plays anywhere except for me. But you can use your PS. Yeah, you can play your Vita to connect to your PS4.
It's also the same as the Steam Link as well.
Yeah. So I mean, the main competition for this is, and the main arguing point for this for me is, to train. Would I continue with this and play Tekken Tag online with Vong Shady and train that way, or go to his house, or he can come up to my house and we can train on this?
Does it have multiplayer? Can you play it online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the whole point. It's awesome.
Okay.
But or would it be just easier for us to both find old PS3s with a $5 copy of Tekken 6 and do it that way?
I think that that's probably your best bet is just hunt down an old system, find an old copy, and then play it that way.
Why don't you go check out our friends at Another Castle? They have plenty of pre-owned PlayStation 3s.
They do. I mean, I might have to go and do that.
I have a PS3.
Huh? Oh wait, what was that, super producer?
Dude, I got a PS3 stashed.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
tight.
buying a new one.
I'm still playing PS3.
PS3 is a good system, man. It was the greatest system Sony's ever had. But that goes to show, this is this demographic that they're trying to hunt after right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, how can we get people to stop playing on the old one, offer games, but make them just a pain in the butt enough where they have to rely on us?
Well, also think about this, that you're paying $20 a month for PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
How long does it take for the next Tekken to end up coming out? How long do you need to be doing so? Is it 3 months from now that it's going to be released? So you're essentially going to be paying $60 to continue to train for the next version.
I got
of
the
Tekken.
3-month plan, so it's 44.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, totally. But it's 44, so the only way this makes it worth it is if I played all the other games too.
Mm-hmm.
So if I trade in Tekken, beat, maybe 3 campaign games throughout, I'll be okay with that. I'll kind of because Last of Us remastered to download is $20,
Mm-hmm.
but Last of Us is free to play right now for PlayStation Now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it really depends on how much I game. If I game as much as I did in the last 3 months, totally worth it. If I put 200 hours of, more than 200, because I had 130 hours of just Final Fantasy, plus Smash Brothers, plus a ton of Street Fighter.
I don't have any Final Fantasy on there though. That's kind of a bummer.
On what?
On PlayStation Now.
Well, they keep they keep rotating through the catalog.
No, never mind. Not right now.
they keep refreshing it.
They have Street Fighter Ultra, Street Fighter 4 Ultra. But you know what? That's something that people could talk to us about, right? Like, tell me I'm an idiot for doing this. I'm only on day 2 of my 7-day free trial. I can pull out. I guess I'll pull out.
Sometimes
And
it's better to pull out.
sometimes it's better to pull out. And maybe I might just hunt down that PS3 and just train on that.
Mm.
Who
From our friends
knows?
at another castle.
From our friends at another castle. But let us know on our Facebook or Instagram, and both of those are going to be end user disagreements. So, hashtag us at end user disagreements. Or you can at us at end user disagreements on Instagram. However, if you're on Twitter, we are
EUD podcast.
Thank you. EUD podcast. You have to make it shorter because
140 character limit.
Twitters.
because Drumpf can't use those fingers too many times. It'll put a strain on his hand.
Well, you know why it's 140 characters?
Yeah, why?
Because Twitter was initially built off of bringing back the old Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long a text message could be? 160 characters.
Oh.
So Twitter was built so that you can end up using it and still tweeting and receiving tweets on your old school devices before smartphones really took off.
Wow.
So they had reserved 20 characters specifically just for your at username, and then 140 characters were reserved to put whatever the hell you want into the rest of it.
Bonkers.
But that's the reason why Twitter is limited.
So
to
you're saying
140.
ideally Twitter is going to work out perfectly on those Nokia phones. The Nokia phones are going to be
Absolutely,
ideal
like
to
in third
any-
world countries. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of the uprisings and stuff that happened during the mid 2000s.
Shenanigans.
Yes.
Shenanigans on all accounts. That being said, like us on Facebook.
Please do.
Share this if you're friends with us on Facebook.
Try to.
Try to. No, not try to. Just
Just do it.
hit the button. For crying out loud. Tell your friends. On Instagram, follow us, like us, and on Twitter, at us. I am at Loud and Brown. And to my left we have...
You got the save ring. See me up on Steam. That's where I'm on there the most.
Okay, so screw Twitter. But across from it we got...
You have just _ the tip.
With 2 P's.
2 P's. Can't forget that.
Double
second P.
P's.
Gotta get that double P.
Double P. Oh, God. We're...
For a double dose of this pimping.
Okay. And once again, thank you to Iron Horse Brewery for their kind of sponsorship. Thank you to Another Castle for knowing who we are.
Thank you for acknowledging us.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Keith the Boogie over here, and the Soundcasting Network for having us. Woo! Go Coots.
Go Cougs.
Yeah, go Coots.
I like how you changed up the Ric Flair. That was a more copyright appropriate Ric Flair right there.
Woo! And
Those 2 O's.
whoa, did we just wrap it? Was that episode 42?
It's in the bag, man. In the
Yeah.
can, as they say.
That's in the can.
Sack it.
Thank you kindly.
Ship it
Smoke meth.
every day.
I don't know why I think that's so funny. It's so harsh.